Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my goodness, are we live? I don't know. We seem to be live.
Looks like we're live.
Hi. So good to see all of you. David, lean over. Come closer.
Hello.
There we go. We're here now. Welcome to the Griffith Park Free Shakespeare Festival. It's a little different this year. We're so happy to have so many of you joining us from your living rooms. Here's our living room. And we're going to spend a little time tonight reminiscing. This would have been our 10th summer in Griffith Park. And when we realized that, we were so sad that we wouldn't be with all of you for our 10th summer in Griffith Park. But we're excited to share a little bit about that decade with all of you tonight. And some of you got back to us with your favorite moments from those 10 years. So we're really super excited to share some of those too with all of you. So lots going to happen tonight. It's a very full hour, many special guests, many wonderful things. Right, David?
Apparently
you look so happy to be here with all of you. But, you know.
Can I have some of the frame, please?
Oh, there we go. I don't know how these things work. I'm a stage actress. I'm sorry. Oh, great. But before we get started, there is one thing we need before we can start the festival. We absolutely can't start a festival without Javi Moreno. And you're all going to recognize him from not only his great acting, but from the fact that for year upon year, he is the gracious host of the festival, telling you all the important information and introducing the shows. And is in charge of our social media. So he's such a huge part of how the festival has become what it is. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Javi Moreno.
What's up, Los Angeles and the world today? Hi, everybody. My name is Javi Moreno, and welcome to the festival. Before we get started, I want to let you know that bathrooms are down your hall to the left, and the concessions booth is in your kitchen. Let's go.
It's so different when you don't see here. Oh, look, but we can do comments.
There you go.
Nikhil wrote, Javi. I'm sorry. I'm going to be really embarrassing with technology because we haven't used it before, but.
I guess it's not only Los Angeles today, it's probably the world. So hello to the world.
Sabrina is saying, Javi, where's your clipboard?
The phone is my clipboard today. Wonderful ISC staff that tells me what to say. And I try to say it every night.
So, Javi, I know we don't, you're very busy. You have another engagement tonight, but I just wondered if you had a favorite festival story that you could share with everybody.
A favorite festival story. There's so many, but one of the things that I keep reminding myself, it's probably a story that plays out every year and probably every night, and something that we don't get to do every night, or right now especially, and it's seeing our neighbors, everyday Angelinos at the park, and I miss that tremendously. That's a big part for me of what the festival represents, because it's not only on stage in the audience, but when we're arriving and we're parking, we see like, oh my God, you're my neighbor. You live like right next to me, and you're coming to see the festival. And at the end, or when we're buying groceries, and that to me is like the extended family community that I miss. And so I've been privileged and blessed to gotten to experience that many a times with youth in my community who have never seen a play, and then they come and see a free Shakespeare play at Griffith Park, and then neighbors that have never seen a Shakespeare play, never seen a play. So those are my favorite stories.
Yeah, that's great. There's so many of those. That just made me think about how every once in a while, because of the public transportation issues getting to the park, which hopefully now, audience, you'll be so happy in 2021. Will be when we come back next summer, there's an interpark bus. So you will actually be able to take the bus out of the park. So it's now totally accessible by public transportation. So that's a really good thing. But sometimes what would happen is people would get to the park on the bus, and you know how you'd be driving down the hill and you'd see people with their picnic baskets walking down. And I picked up so many people on the way down to the park to take them. And it's like, so you're so true. You just make, it's what you're saying is so true. You just make those connections.
Yeah.
And really feel like it makes you feel more connected, I think, to Los Angeles.
Right. And then you see them when you're going grocery shopping or a farmer's market, and you're like, hey, I just saw you this last weekend. I've never been there. I've lived here all my life. And the first time I found you guys hiking, and I miss that a lot.
Yeah. David would always get recognized in Trader Joe's for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one time, it was right before Christmas as well. So it wasn't even the same time as the festival, but I was in the vegetable aisle and someone came and said, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you do. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really nice. And then I'm in the cheese aisle and someone comes up, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you do. And then this person comes up and says, excuse me, can I just ask, what is it that you do?
Yeah. Right. It's sort of like you were running for office. I've had people like scream in downtown from across the street, like, thanks for putting up the Shakespeare Festival. You're the guy, the guy at the top of the show. And I'm like, yeah. And everybody else is like, who are you?
One time we were at a bowling alley. One of our children was going to a party, our daughter, and we were and David was coming to pick her up, and he was trying to find my daughter, the party my daughter was attending, or our daughter was attending. And he went to a totally separate birthday party, and the child turned to his mother and said, you got David Melville to come to my birthday party?
I think they thought I was a hired act or something.
Shakespeare, who knew that Shakespeare was so popular in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
The thing.
Hey, this.
Here we got a comment.
There was a message. Cesar Castillo, I think it was. I've lost it now. He was saying, I thought it was started in 2010, so 10 years ? And he's got a point, because last year was our 10th season in Griffith Park.
Right.
As the calendar date goes, it was 10 years last July, I guess, that we started. So
that's where we got 10 years.
So now we're celebrating 10 years.
We're always celebrating something.
We should have had a year of celebrating 10 years, but that would have been rather hard on me.
But Javi, I know you've got somewhere else to be. So you want to, I want to give you a chance. Javi is the hardest working man in Los Angeles theater, pretty much. And he's going to go do a performance right now somewhere else. And you want to tell us a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the 5 Ethernet freeway. And then, but yeah, I'm doing, with everything going on in the world, a company that I'm a part of, Company of Angels, which was founded in 1959 by Leonard Nimoy. We're doing a short 5-minute short film festival called What's Going On. It's 15 plays, and tonight we presented some part of the plays last weekend, and tonight it's 8 of those plays, and I'm in one along with another ISC ensemble member, Richard Azurdia. Karen Rose is also wrote a play. So if you're free, come join us after this.
Fantastic. All right. So there you go. You can visit that website and you can get more theater tonight. There we are. All right. Thank you so much, Javi.
Thanks, Javi.
Right. Oh, wait. No, I have to put him in the. There we go. I'm trying to figure this all out. Awesome. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to be reminiscing today. And so 2010 was our very first season in Griffith Park. And we opened. I mean, David, do you want to talk a little bit about how we left Barnsdall?
How we left?
Well, that we started in Barnsdall.
Yeah, so we did 6 years of Barnsdall Park, and we started, as I say, often after the show, there was 15 people and a dog in the audience, and then the last couple of years we were maxing out the space. We couldn't play to. I think we had a cutoff of 440, and we were often hitting that, and people would be in the shrubbery, and it was maxing out the parking and becoming a nuisance, basically. And the city worked with us to move the festival over to Griffith Park. And a lot of people were nervous. Somebody said, you can't go there, that's where they go to dump dead bodies. And but that wasn't true at all. We found it to be a delightful place.
Oh, God.
And actually, we worked with Symphony in the Glen, who'd been doing concerts there for many years, and so we sort of they helped us sort of get in there, and we did our first season. It was a real kind of it was a very nervous moment, thinking of, would people come from Barnstable, where people could obviously take public transport. A lot of people could just walk there from Los Feliz, and it's you have to drive into the park, and we were worried whether people would come. And it was a bit of a scare because the first night the audience was tiny, wasn't it?
So small, it was terrifying. 92 people.
92 people, which
we thought we'd made just this terrible mistake, but fortunately the next night 93 people came.
Yeah. And by the end of the summer, and I think we're going to look at a video in a little bit later, the crowds just got huge. So it sort of it caught on pretty quickly. And that first season, we did manage to play to the same audience numbers as we would have done at Barnstable, which was a relief. And then the year after, it doubled, and then the year after that, it doubled again, and it just became this thing, which was amazing.
And so we're gonna having an actor come join us right now who was in that very first season. He's since moved out of Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Pritchett.
Hello.
Oh,
Sean.
Hello.
So this is Sean Pritchett. Sean, can you tell the audience a few of the parts you played for ISC?
Griffith Park, they would have seen me, Don John in Much Ado, Puck in Midsummer, Orlando, As You Like It, Claudius in Hamlet, Caliban in The Tempest, and Juliet's dad in Romeo and Juliet in 2015.
Yeah. And Sean was performing from, I think, our second year in Griffith Park too. So you've been with ISC for
the Barnstable, yeah, 05. Yeah.
And where are you now? Please explain to everybody.
I'm in beautiful Western Oklahoma.
Oh.
With my family. Loving it.
That's awesome. We're getting a lot of comments here about how people miss you.
Oh, I miss you. I miss them. I miss everybody. It was an amazing, amazing experience, and I don't count it over at all in any kind of finality. It was too special and too great a place. So
Sean,
we're celebrating.
when we asked Sean to join us tonight, you were so nice. You made this video, so we're going to share a video. And in this video is from 2010, so it's from our first summer in Griffith Park with Much Ado About Nothing. We did Othello and Much Ado About Nothing that year. And so this video is from Much Ado. And so you'll see a lot of the backstage, a lot of the different actors who were in it. And you'll see, I just wanted to do one setup. There's a scene in it where Benedict has to hide, and all the people are kind of, can you set that scene up? Do you remember what's happening in that scene?
Yeah, the gulling scene. I think David could even set it up even better.
What's the scene where
Don
Pedro and the others are setting up Benedict to think that Beatrice is in love with him, but he's hiding to overhear them. And it was really hard rehearsing it because we couldn't figure out where to hide. And then we sat down one day and we said, well, we're in the park. What would we use? In our line of sight, what is there that we could use to hide behind? And somebody pointed out that they were digging a hole, and there was this big plastic sign that said "Dig Alert." I don't know whether we were allowed to or not, but we borrowed that sign. And I was creeping around the stage in the "Dig Alert" sign. But
you sort of need to know, for appreciating the video, you need to know that he also hid in the audience.
Hid in the audience a lot, yeah.
And Louis Galindo, who was playing Don Pedro, had to go out and find him in the audience. So I think we've set it up. So here's a video that Sean put together of Much Ado, 2010. I'm going to share it right now. This one. I'm going to share this one.
Oh, Margaret!
Uh-oh. Are we frozen?
No.
Frozen spit take.
Yeah, it froze.
All right, I'm gonna start it over. Oh dear.
I should post it on Facebook. We should post it on Facebook and all the places.
Oh my goodness. Terrible. Sorry. I'm gonna stop screen sharing now. Are we back? We're back. No, there we are. All right. I'm sorry. We're having trouble playing it. Should we try again? What do you think?
We'll give one more go.
We're gonna give it one more go.
One more go.
Let's try again. All right. I'm doing it the way they told me to do it.
What you doing?
Oh, that's gone. All right. Sorry. You guys keep chatting. We'll get back to it.
Well, it's an amazing video. It's very fun. And David has a fantastic line where he reminisces about his part in Othello. Oh, we're live.
We are live.
So anyway, yeah. So Sean, is that a dog?
I went under this.
Yes, that's my
Daddy,
blue tick hound.
Look where I went under, Daddy. I went under that. I went under that.
Good job.
Oh yeah, here we go. Try it again.
It's just like the video, actually. Oh.
Try again. Okay, one more time, and then we won't put the audience through this again. There we go. Let's see. Keep your fingers.
Oh, Margaret! Perhaps I wasn't counting for right to him that I love him. Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One put at sea and one on shore. To one thing constant ever. Then sigh not so, but let them go and be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Then sigh not so, but let them go and be blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny. Hey, nonny, nonny. Hey, nonny, nonny.
Ah, it's great. And I want to share one thing from that, and then we do have one more video to share that video, Sean, is that was the first and only time we ever decided to rehearse outside for the weekend.
Oh, God,
do you remember
yeah.
that? And we decided that we would, it would be so good to be on stage. And so that last weekend we rehearsed during the day outside. Do you remember how I was thinking that video, you could see how hot everybody looked.
Yeah.
We never did that again. And then
That's right.
because it was way, way too hot.
It was much louder. There was much louder in the space. All the noise didn't die down until like the evening. Just fighting it.
That's right.
It was a workout.
But Sean, risking embarrassing you, I'm going to share one video, and this is Andre Martin, who many of you will recognize. He's telling one of his favorite stories about Sean. So we're going to share that with all of you right now. There we go. Oh. Oh no! All right.
I don't remember that story.
I don't remember. Look at how sad it looks with my file not found.
Well, maybe Andre can just tell us.
You know what? Andre's just going to tell that story. We're going to bring him. If only Andre were here
Yeah.
to tell the
if
story
only.
himself. If only that were true.
No.
Ah, there he is.
Hey, Sean, Melissa, David, so good to see you.
Amazing how you're here.
I'm sorry, what was that?
It's amazing how you're here with us.
Yep,
It's
you
so
guys
it's so convenient.
you dialed into my computer, and here I am. Boom.
Here you are. Okay, so can you tell that story about Sean?
I think I know what story you're talking about. You're talking about when we did Midsummer, right?
Oh yes, that is the one.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right. So this is a great story, Sean. Sean, I think you'll appreciate this a lot. So when we did Midsummer Night's Dream, we had before we did in Griffith Park, we had performed it in the studio space as well as on tour in several schools all around Los Angeles. And if some of you watching tonight might remember, Sean Pritchett got to play Puck, and great performance, Sean. Your Puck was amazing. But one of the things I really remember from your Puck was your costume. You had these like really cool high tops on. You had these shorts, and you'd play electrical guitar, and you had these guitar solos in the middle of your monologues, and you're just like this real punk rock Puck. But you also wore no shirt. You had like a vest on the shirt.
I wear what's given or not
Yeah.
given.
Yeah, and listen, Sean, you're a good-looking guy. You know, you work out, you play rugby. So we took Midsummer Night's Dream to an all-girls school before performing it in Griffith Park, and I'll never forget this. The moment that Sean walked out on stage as Puck, there was this wave of hollers and shrieks, and just all the girls at the school went absolutely crazy when Sean stepped out on stage. And I heard that by intermission, they had actually created like a Facebook fan page for you. And then at the end of the night, we had to escort you out because they all swarmed around you and wanted your autograph. And needless to say, I was insanely jealous of all the attention you were getting.
He was definitely rock star Puck.
He was.
That's for sure. Hey, so I've got another guest. I think you guys are going to be really happy to see this guest.
Yeah.
You all just saw him play Don Pedro in that clip of Much Ado. Ladies and gentlemen, Louis Galindo. Oh, he's here! Yay! I want to share, you know, I love you and Sean and Andre, I love you guys so much, but I have to say that every summer, numerous people say to me, when is Louis coming back to do more plays? They ask that about all of you, but Louis played Macbeth, Petruchio, Don Pedro, Malvolio. So many, I mean, like, name a great part.
Hamlet's daddy.
Anyway, Luis, yay! Nice to see you. You're here.
Yeah, those people that ask about me are the many people in Los Angeles that I owe money to. This is why they're asking for me. I'm indebted to you. The check is in the mail.
I'm not sure that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I miss you guys. It's really great to be a part of this. I'm glad you asked me. It's easily the most fertile, creative place I've ever been fortunate enough to be a part of. It's been awesome. It was great. It was one of the best times of my life.
Oh, what can you think of any sort of favorite moments or favorite stories that you have? I mean, I know there's always so many. I'm always thinking about when we did Macbeth, and David directed it. And if you've ever done a play with David, you know there's nothing more than he loves stage blood.
Oh yeah.
And he'll put stage blood into shows where stage blood does not belong.
Right.
But Macbeth obviously is a play where you have a lot of blood.
Yeah, yeah.
And
This was a collective decision. It wasn't just me.
Right.
But what was really great, so in that last fight, I think Andre, Luis, and David, right, you guys like collaborated on making this crazy fight. And literally you'd say, how about if we just nail his hand to the floor? And what if we throw a dagger across the stage? And you just invented this like really wild fight.
It was the most violent Macbeth fight I've ever seen.
It was pretty violent. And at one point, do you remember Matt Callahan? And he had to, like, Andre was chopping Macbeth's head off behind the curtain so you couldn't see it. And Andre was hitting a sandbag. And Matt Callahan was a super soaker full of blood.
Yeah.
That he was like spurting the blood all over Andre.
Yeah.
And at the end of the show during curtain call, Andre and Luis were just covered
Yeah.
with blood. And we actually put a content warning and said, parents, this is a really intense production. It's very violent. We don't shy away from that. Please consider. But so many people brought their children, little kids. And we got so many pictures of the two of you covered in blood after the show with tiny children. And everything was just it was really not how I expected the parent that to go. So I always think about that. And Luis, do you remember that time the helicopter was there?
Oh, God.
Do you want to share that little story?
Yeah. So we're like, I don't know, not even 10 minutes. We're about 10 minutes away from the end of the play. It was right before Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. If you know that play, it's very close to the end. And apparently some hikers had got lost in the hills right by the park, and there were like 4 or 5 helicopters there looking for these lost hikers, and we had to stop the play because no one could hear anything. And it lasted for about 45 minutes, and people started to leave, and I was out in the audience begging people to stay. And we just said, the heck with it. We're just going to go on and do it. We had a rally backstage, a little huddle. And I remember looking at Sean and Andre going, our donkey's in a ditch, boys, but we got to get through this. And so we did. And then we just went out and did it. And I started doing the speech, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And at the end of the speech, the last helicopter flew away and it became silent as I was saying, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I said nothing, and the last chopper was flying off in the distance. People applauded, and we got to the end of the play with decreased numbers, but we did finish, and it was man. Looking back on it, I think about it often. I was like, man, we should have just plowed through that sucker and just got onto the back. Did a dumb show at the end with put money in the bucket.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was amazing that people stayed, because it's not an exaggeration that it was 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was deafeningly loud. You couldn't even hear somebody next to you, really. It was incredible.
Little known fact, I did half of the rehearsal process while not wearing pants.
Okay, can you elaborate more on that?
The pre-Zoom days.
This is my favorite part of the festival.
Yeah,
I felt free. I felt free.
How are you pants free in the rehearsal room?
I'm kidding.
But there was a time when you were pants free.
Oh yeah.
I should have a picture of that, but I don't quite have a picture of that.
Thank God.
I do have a picture of when you were shirt free.
Oh no, please no.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh God. Oh yeah.
There they are.
Yeah.
So that was, in this production of Taming of the Shrew, which David also directed.
Yeah.
During the wedding scene, I don't have a picture of that, but Petruchio comes to the wedding, and he's deliberately being very provocative and inappropriate, right?
Right.
So to make everybody very upset, and to make Pope very upset, that he would come to his wedding kind of disorderly and inappropriately. And in our production, when you turned around to go upstage, you had breakaway pants, and you ripped them off, and you had like a loincloth on.
Yeah, bottomless chaps.
Bottomless chaps.
Yeah.
And
stripper pants.
Okay.
Yeah. much to the chagrin of everyone, including the LA Weekly.
And the audience was crazy for this, but we got so many letters about this.
So many complaints, none for Macbeth.
So it was a group of people who I think had kind of come together and decided they didn't want their teenagers seeing naked bottoms, basically. Yeah. And
I think it was specifically mine. They said it was fine if it was Sean.
But I remember we just kept writing the play where for 5 acts the woman is subjugated and made to do things, get married against her will. What you're upset about is a butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was described as 2 Volkswagens trying to pass one another.
Oh my goodness! On that note,
can we just quickly point out? I see on some of the messages that some people are expecting to see Romeo and Juliet, and they're a little bit surprised. What's happening?
So, very sorry.
We should have brought that up initially, I think. So the festival this year is we're going to have different events every Saturday. This is one of them.
Anyway, someone called them bondage trousers.
Okay. People that think Romeo and Juliet. And then the last thing we're going to do, so every Saturday we have a different one of these events, and we'll go over what all those events are before we finish tonight. And the other ones are going to be very polished because I'm not producing those ones. Anyway, so thank you all for. Sorry, I'm going to do-over. It's live. There's no do-overs. So every Saturday there's a different event, and then over Labor Day weekend we're live streaming Romeo and Juliet, which is an all-new production, which is this hybrid production. Some of it's recorded, some of it's live, and then that will also play the following week as well. So if you're here tonight for Romeo and Juliet, please stay and enjoy our stories. And but we will be doing Romeo and Juliet. That won't live stream until Labor Day. So we have different events all through August, and I hope that explains it. We're sorry that was not more clear. Where were we out? Here's our outline. Where were we on our outline?
I think it says David.
It says David. We're going to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
So now we're saying thank you to Sean, Louis, and Andre. And we're so glad that you were here with us tonight. We've got more guests coming up. So we're not done yet, just because they're done. But thank you. It's so good to see you guys. And I hope you can all come back and do plays again. And Louis is in the Romeo and Juliet that's going to stream over any day. So he's Prince Aeschylus. So there you go. So you can, that's an exciting thing. We were able to have Louis in it. So it's so good to see you guys.
We might have some mysterious guest appearances as well.
Oh, there may be. Yeah.
Uncredited.
Oh, but then they're not seen. All right. They're not surprises now.
And none of them are on screen right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you so much. Okay. So that is awesome. It's so good to hear from everybody. And I really love hearing everybody's stories about what makes things meaningful to them.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's nice. So David's wondering if he should just read directly from
These are my lines. Hold on.
And I think one of the things we've been talking about in our on our Zoom staff meetings is noticing how important arts and culture has been during this time. We're in this where it seems like the world is changing so rapidly, and we have a pandemic, and we have so many issues and, this time of civic uprising. And it's just such an extraordinary singular moment in history. And we've really been noticing how people are really attaching to arts and culture during this time, even just from something as mundane as like needing to really watch something on Netflix to get away from it all, but also to be creating so much amazing art during this time and finding ways of making art even though we're separated. And we've been thinking a lot about how meaningful art has been to us in all of our lives personally, and I'm sure all of you have very similar experiences. And there's a nationwide movement right now in this regard that I really wanted to share with all of you, and I'm just going to bring it up right now. And this is a nationwide initiative called Be an Arts Hero. And it's if you go to this website, if you love arts, I know all of you watching this, I'm pretty sure love the arts, and you know how much it offers to you personally. But something that I think has been really interesting to know, and that this website can go and it gives you all the statistics, is that arts and culture accounts for 4.5% of the U.S. economy. It's this massive, massive sector, and so many people are employed in it. And no one, and the government never talks about doing an arts bailout. And the arts and culture sector contributes way more to the economy than the airline industry, for example. But the airline industry got, billions of dollars of bailout. So Be an Arts Hero is this amazing initiative. It's completely volunteer run, and you can go to their website and you can find out how to write your elected officials so that you can really be an arts advocate, and to really help the government understand how much we all want arts funding, so that at the end of the pandemic, which has really decimated our industry, there's still arts and culture being made in the United States. So please check out that website and get involved in that. They have really easy tools to write your elected officials. So, and all of the numbers and talking points you need. And it's you'll be inspired to act if you check it out. So we just wanted to give a plug to this organization that's doing so much work right now on behalf of the arts and culture sector. So Be an Arts Hero and go to that website. Thank you. And that was my PSA, my public service announcement. But what's going to happen now? Do you know, David? Do you know we're going to move ahead in time? We're going to move through the OG Griffith Park performers, and now we get to like kind of the shank of the Griffith Park Festival, that good middle range. And there's an actor that.
Is that what that means? The shank.
The shank of the evening. Doesn't that mean like the good part?
I think so. I've only ever heard that term used in Arthur in a scene with Elizabeth's dad and Dudley Moore.
With Brian Dennehy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. He's name dropping Elizabeth Dennehy. I don't.
Our board member,
Elizabeth Dennehy. So we're going to be joined right now by an actor you all recognize. I can see he's ready. He's excited. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Lewis Smith. There he is. Yay! So Evan, you're another one who did not do last summer, right? But you've done like, Evan, I think your mic is off.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yay!
I didn't do last summer. Before that, I think it was 5 straight summers.
Oh, okay, yeah, because so you just did, and you did so many shows in the studio too. I think
Yeah,
Evan
did a lot of shows in the studio.
And so you're an actor that people definitely after are like, hey, where's Evan? Why is he? And so we're so excited to have you here tonight.
I know. I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
It's awesome.
I'm with you guys.
I'm curious, Evan. Do you have a story? Some kind of what would you say? Kind of a fun ISC story or moment, audience interaction. I know there's so many. It's hard to.
That's what when you told me about it, it was like I have like so many that come to mind when you say that. I think we did a production of Much Ado About Nothing.
That was your first show, I think, right? In the Griffith Park.
Yeah, yeah. That was my first summer. We did that with.
Yes.
Okay. No, that was the first one.
No, the first one was in 2010.
Oh,
my
Lord, we've done it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it twice. This was the second production. This was in 2013.
That's right. That's right.
15, 14?
2015, I think. Yeah, something like that. It was with Romeo and Juliet.
That's right. That's right.
And I was playing the friar, and I had a huge speech standing on top of the platform. And right before I took like a big inhale to start speaking, and I sucked a fly into my mouth.
Oh no.
And I spent the whole speech having to like chew the fly and like blow it and like stop myself from like choking basically. That was traumatic, but fun, interesting. The Romeo and Juliet fight was amazing. I got to jump over. Oh yeah, this is my
There he is.
Yeah.
There's Evan as Tybalt in Romeo and Juliet in 2015.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to talk about when you jumped over the banister and nearly gave a heart attack?
Yeah. Every time and one of the times I jumped over it, I actually like clipped my foot and I like kind of fell. And I think that's what you were kind of fearing the whole time, but it only happened once. But it was an amazing fight. It was so much.
It was really exciting. Yeah, basically, it was the visual for me from the stage was you just flying through the air from a great height.
You were
my heart
so not about that.
Every time I saw it.
David loved that part of the fight, but you absolutely were terrified of that. And then it was funny that you guys were talking about all the blood and gore, because I was thinking of Titus.
Yes.
And how much blood that was. How excited David was with the giant sword for me to cut his arm off.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
I just loved like that gag because I had like 5 hits with this massive sword on his arm, and he's just kneeling there, just screaming.
Well, I was having to palm all these like plastic hands.
It's like because the gag was David was and he's just like always fumbling with one hand trying to spray it while like screaming at the same time. And I just
in the play, just to explain this, Evan, who was playing Aaron, is cutting off Titus's hand. And so we had to have, David had a squirt bottle. His back was to the audience.
We were using those things that you use to suck sputum out of a baby's mouth. Yeah. They were the perfect thing. They would fill just enough blood to go.
I just have to say though, because like he would spray it everywhere, but one particular night he sprayed a lot. You sprayed a lot of it, David, like right in your face. And there's the moment where you faced me with your hand and like you give me your hand. And I was trying so hard not to like burst out laughing because like your face is just covered in blood and you're just like spraying me with the blood as you're talking to me. It's like, here, take this back. I'm just like,
sting a little if you got it in your mouth as well. It was, oh my God. But it was really good because it washed out. So I think it had some laundry detergent in it, but it was.
Oh, it was so funny. Like,
I don't have a picture of that, but there's the end of Titus, and you can see.
Yeah, there's the end. Another memory is when we did a production. It wasn't in the park. It was a production of Pericles that we did at the School for Girls, Archer. And literally, like, I do not know what was going on. Nikhil will remember this, but Nikhil played like the old man. What was his name?
Helicanus.
Helicanus. Yes, he played Helicanus, and he would be standing close to the mic, and he had this breathing thing that he would do, where he would be like, oh, like you would react to like everything that was happening with this like weird voice. And then there was one point where we were all just could not stop laughing. Like everybody was laughing on stage. It was like pandemonium.
We never do that, Evan. We're entirely professional at all times.
You're right. That was what was I thinking? It was probably just me. You know what I mean?
That probably wasn't even an independent Shakespeare Company performance.
No. Yeah,
never. None of us would ever laugh.
Ever break character. Yeah, I mean, there's so many stories. Obviously, like I like found like the love of my life through you guys. So
would you like to share a little bit about that?
It's not really much to share. I just fell in love with the girl that I was got knocked up in the play. I got her knocked up in the play.
Such a romantic story up until.
They were playing an engaged couple in Measure for Measure.
Yes.
And right, that's what was happening.
I was playing Claudio, and this is Donna Hosenzade, if nobody knows. And she was playing Juliet. And yeah, it was just the perfect romance.
Is she like right there to your right?
She is. Come say hi.
She should say, actually, Jennifer has a really good story.
I was hiding. I was so embarrassed. I was like, Evan, don't show me.
But so Donna acted with us that summer, and what was really amazing is she then, at one point during the summer, I remember you told me that you actually, when you were quite young, had started coming to see the plays in Barnstable Park.
She was one of the original 15.
I was like, it was probably me and my mom and my younger sister as one of the 15. So it was always so inspiring and like always so amazing to be exposed to Shakespeare at such a young age, and then obviously growing up to absolutely love it. But like I saw it for the first time with you guys, so it was always really special. And seeing Melissa and David on stage, and I remember when you played Lady M, and it was just so incredible. So yeah, that was my first exposure to theater. So I applaud you guys for doing this for so many years.
Wow. It's almost like we planned for Donna to join you, but I swear we did.
I was like,
I knew it. You guys planned this whole thing. But yeah, so I have a lot of memories. I mean, obviously you guys have been like an artistic home for me since I got out of grad school. So I mean, just cannot thank you guys enough. And memories, just like those were like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I literally could go for this whole hour.
I know there's so many stories, but I will say that one of the things that we asked our audience today for this stream is we asked people that registered. We said, "What are some of your favorite productions?" And I will say, 12th Night I think got the most votes because you just can't beat 12th Night. I mean, when you ask people their favorite Shakespeare plays, lots and lots of people say 12th Night. But really interestingly, Two Gentlemen of Verona made a very strong showing. And I think that's a really exciting thing because also directed by David. My goodness.
That was one of my mom's favorite moments.
Media one. So we have a little clip from that.
Oh my God.
So that hopefully we can, but now I've lost it now, I think. Sorry. I want to show this.
This was the rock and roll Two Gents that we did, like a rockabilly Two Gents.
There we go. So this was Two Gentlemen, Griffith Park.
This gag was so funny.
2017. There you are.
Oh yeah. Nikhil on his iPad.
Phil coming out with the drum.
At the
Oh my God. Do you remember when you said you wanted to move the piano around and I thought you were crazy? go.
So much fun.
Are you
Exciting.
unmuted?
No, we're not. We're good. That
Yeah.
was very exciting.
That was great. And I mean, it was the first time I got to actually play like kind of like a villain-esque character, and it was fun to have like the audience respond, like come on stage and get booed, and
Yeah.
that was great. And that was one of my mom's favorite parts too, was everybody like hating me so much. So
Interesting to see how the production values have changed, and that would have been 8 years since our first. We didn't even have microphones the first few years. I mean, when we were in Barnstable Park, we could play to 200 or 300 people. We didn't need the microphones, but then we got to Park, and suddenly, you know, it was a point of honor for us not to need these microphones. But then we started topping 1,000 a night, and then at intermission, half the people would go because they couldn't hear. So
that must have been crazy for you guys, you know, obviously, like from the ground up to see how it progressed from a couple hundred to like a couple thousand people. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, those 1,000 plus, like 2,000, like I feel like Romeo and Juliet one that was like pushing like 4,000.
No, we never got that many. I think we had close to 3.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
We used to our first in 2010, our first summer in Griffith Park, we played to about 12,000 people.
Yeah.
Now we play to about 45,000.
Yeah, it's
over
crazy.
the course of the summer. So
it's even now. The last
fun.
few years is more consistent, but the first couple of years it was just like it was quite shocking, like sort of week by week to see it grow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's fun now. You know, now we can. You know, we have because we raise a little bit more money, we can have slightly better sets and production values and stuff like that. We still try to stay true to the sort of founding principles.
Yeah.
Actors and storytelling.
Actors, storytelling, collaboration. You know, it's the actor's work that's important, and the relationship between the actors and the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great.
It's a really fun thing, I think, to watch you do in that show in Two Gents, to see how you really work with the audience. You know.
Yeah. No, it was so much fun. Oh my god! And then learn to play the ukulele a little bit, like a couple chords.
Did you keep it up?
I didn't, just because I didn't get to keep the ukulele, but you know, it was so much fun to learn it.
In all honesty, Donna is really happy you did not keep up the ukulele.
I was like, wow, Evan, really? Like, can I sing and play the ukulele?
Oh, that'd be cute. You guys should do that. But Evan, before you go, we asked you to have the great honor of announcing who won the T-shirt.
Oh yeah, can you send the name in the private chat?
Yes, anyone who registered was entered in the drawing for the T-shirt.
Okay.
The T-shirt, which we aren't quite printed yet. They will be, and we'll be sending them out to this lucky winner. And do you have his name?
Can you just type it into the private chat so nobody can see it?
I don't know if I can.
I don't want to call him the wrong name, and I remember it kind of, but I don't.
Oh no! Okay, here we go. I'm gonna. Can I? What if I text you? Can you see
Oh,
it?
that's perfect. Yeah. Text me.
Okay.
Text me.
All right. The winner.
The winner is James McKibben.
Wow!
Yay,
James! T-shirts. So thank you so much, Evan. Thank you for coming on some stories with us tonight.
Of course. Thank you guys so much. I miss you guys. Love you guys.
Love you too.
See you guys too.
And you're going to be in Romeo and Juliet, are you not?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All goes according to plan. I will be Mercutio.
Evan in Romeo and Juliet over Labor Day as Mercutio.
Mercutio, yeah. Troublemaker.
All right. Well, we'll see you very soon, Evan.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. So, David.
Yeah.
Here you have.
Thank you, Evan. It wouldn't be a festival if I didn't ask. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Evan. Now, it wouldn't be a festival if I didn't ask you for money.
That's it.
It says giving talking points.
Okay, David.
What are the?
Just do it. You know the talking points.
All right. Well, so yes, we have to raise money to put the shows on, to keep everything going. We want to be there for you next summer, and hopefully when all of this craziness is over, we'll be able to all congregate in Griffith Park and get back together and have that great community that we all miss so much. But we can't do that if you don't contribute, because we don't charge for tickets, and we're not well supported. We don't have a large endowment and all of those things. I mean, the festival's always been funded through mostly through individual donations, and when we have the festival to perform, we can actually make things work, because 4 or 5 nights a week we are collecting money because we're performing. Obviously, we're not performing at the moment, so things are tight, and they're tight for all arts organizations. So we're asking if you can help and support us with a donation. Text ISCLA to 44321 and make a donation. Also, I think we're going to be talking about other ways that you can become a monthly donor in a little bit. But that would be really helpful. We are doing our damnedest to bring you some programming this summer, even though we can't be with you in the park. We've been talking about this production of Romeo and Juliet, which we hope is going to be something really remarkable and fun, and hopefully in the best way that we can capture the spirit of creativity and connection that we have with you in the park without actually being in the park with you. And it's going to be fun. Some of it's live and some of it's pre-recorded. And there's all sorts of other live elements that are happening alongside. It's going to be something totally different, but it's also very hard to produce something like that, especially during the current climate with the pandemic, which makes it very difficult to do any kind of in-person taping. But we're going to try to do it, and if you'll support us with a donation, that will help to bring that in, around as a reality. So please help us keep going, help us bring that to you at Labor Day weekend, help us stay in business through June of next year, when we'll be opening, hopefully, the brand new stage, which should be going into construction very, very soon. So that's one great thing to look forward to. So we want to be there for you. Please, if you can be there for us, we can all make it work.
And yes, thank you, David. See,
okay?
you did all the talking points. And we know it's really hard right now, and that is, some people just are not able to make a donation. And we know that there's lots of things that need a lot of attention, a lot of support right now. But if you can support the arts, whether it's supporting ISC or whether it's looking in your neighborhood and finding the small theater in your neighborhood, go to their website, sign up for their emailing list, make a donation to them. Because at the end of all this, I think we all want the arts in our city, and we're all just going to have to work together to keep everything viable and keep artists employed throughout the pandemic. And in this way, when it's time we can all be together again, we'll all have art to go back to. So hopefully, if you're able to support the arts, whether it's, obviously I hope you support ISC, but I'm also equally would be delighted just to know everyone is doing what they can for the arts organizations in their neighborhoods. If you really want to level up your relationship with ISC, we have a brand new monthly giving initiative called the Roustabouts. So if you love to get into a little bit of trouble, you love your Shakespeare with a little bit of mischief, and you want to give monthly in any amount, you can become a Roustabout. So literally, if you wanted to donate $1 a month, you'd be a Roustabout. And what that means is you'll have access to some special events, opening night things, late night parties, irreverent newsletters, that sort of thing. And the monthly giving is really good for any organization because it helps just be sustaining, because you kind of know what's coming in. And I don't want to, we want to celebrate, but we also should all be aware that, as we've been saying, the arts industry it's hard right now for everybody, and there's a lot of people unemployed. So the more we can kind of help each other, the better off we are.
And one of our priorities has always been paying artists, and artists are amongst the most vulnerable at the moment. So we're trying to make a commitment to keeping people employed. Even though we had to cancel our production of the Scottish play, we've said Macbeth enough tonight, and
I think it's okay. Yeah.
We still paid even though it never opened, we still paid everyone through the end of the run. And we want to pay people to do Romeo and Juliet. We want to try and find ways to bring programming throughout the fall and the spring so that we can keep artists employed.
and keep providing free programming and free access to people. So thank you. If you can help, thank you so much. And thank you to those of you who donated tonight. It's really, really deeply appreciated. But now I think we're ready to talk about this Romeo and Juliet that we keep referring. I'm going to bring on Bukola. Dun, dun, there she is. So you guys will recognize Bukola. I think her first show with us was Measure for Measure.
It was.
And she's did every summer since that time, and now she is starring as Juliet in our production of Romeo and Juliet. And so we're so excited. She's amazing actress, so I'm really thrilled to have the opportunity to share her Juliet with the world. The whole world is going to watch it.
Yes.
But I just wanted to let people know a little bit more about how this production is going to work. So do you have, what are some of your thoughts about kind of the planning we've been doing around it?
I am super excited to be a part of Romeo and Juliet. I've never played Juliet, so this is really, truly a first for me, and I'm really excited. It has been kind of wonderful creating art during this time, and being able to sustain the festival in this capacity. But there has been a lot of planning, a lot of strategic planning out of filming and how to keep everyone safe as possible and safe during this time. So it's been really lovely. It's been really lovely.
Yeah, it's interesting, like adding that whole layer of scheduling, routine testing. And so with the production, we're doing a lot of our planning around it is making sure as much as possible people aren't in the same shot. So we're doing scenes between different people, but the idea is that everyone is filming almost solo. So there's very few scenes where people are going to actually be in the same shot. So it's kind of a really, it's very different for theater performers to think about it that way, I think. And I was, we've been really interested too, amongst ourselves, we're all talking about different ways of bringing in that live element. So one of the ways, because obviously in the park, right, I would say, right, Bukola, so much of it is that you're out in the audience and they say things to you and you picture them and you're running around amongst the people, and it feels so good to have that interactive experience with the audience.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make this performance interactive. So even some of the live scenes will have audience interaction.
Yes.
We're not, right, where the audience is going to be able to call in and ask the friar a question on his advice channel. The friar has a YouTube channel in our new version of Romeo and Juliet. And
yes, he does.
And he's gonna.
Is the friar related to Dr. Pinch?
No. No. Totally unrelated. And another way people are going to do, they can follow Mercutio on Twitter, and during the performance, they'll get insights into Mercutio's life as the character of Mercutio tweets about what's happening in Verona during that time. And we can follow Paris on Instagram and get Paris's Instagram updates in real time during the performance. And you as an audience member are going to be able to interact with the characters that way live for those live stream performances. So we're going to try to figure this all out. We've got a lot of moving parts, a lot of whole layer of sort of social media and a digital landscape we're creating, but it's been great, as you said, just to have something to focus on.
Yeah.
And, it's been, for me, really joyful to be able to be back collaborating with you and with everybody else. It feels really, it's really weird to have a summer where we're not all together making Shakespeare. So it's been great to sort of be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we're incorporating this new live interaction with the audience, and that the stage crew and the stagehand who don't usually do this are also trying to help as much as possible, because they make the festival happen. The artists are great on stage, but if we didn't have our Jennies and Carries and Giselles and Mars is backstage, doing all that stuff too, and they're trying to figure out how to help out too with that. So it's really, really great to see everyone kind of transferring skills, including you two. Look at us on the internet.
Oh boy, here we are on the internet together.
Dragged, kicking and screaming
to the internet. So we've gone over, as many of probably have noticed, but we are going to do one last share, and then we're going to say goodnight, and then I'm going to share the video, and the video is the announcement of all of the actors from Romeo and Juliet. So you'll get to see who's in the production and who you can look forward to seeing on Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. And then please go to the website iscla.org to see all of the other events we have going on throughout this month. We've got some great sort of hour-long live streams just like this every single Saturday. We have some work with guests are coming on. Anyways, it's going to be really great. We're doing our best to make as much of the festival happen digitally as we can. So check out iscla.org for that. And now,
we've got to celebrate. We've got to toast the festival.
Yay! Let's go, bestie.
Oh, bestie.
Do you have any bestie pictures of me and Bacola?
I do. Okay, so Bacola, can you tell the story? Can you tell about how you and David
became besties? Okay, so honestly, what happened was in Measure for Measure, I think it just randomly in Measure for Measure, David was just, trying to do his thing. And I was like, hey, David, do you want to take some pictures with me? And he was just like, yeah, sure. And I was like, there'll be best friend pictures and we'll do different poses. And he was like, okay. I was like, and now we're best friends. So then we became best friends. So I just had to ask.
So this is the kind of pictures David and Bacola love to have them? There they are, besties.
Wait, I can't see it.
You can't see that?
That's great.
That's the only one you got.
Well, no, I have other ones, but I've got to figure out the screen share.
I hate having my picture taken, but I don't mind it with Bacola.
Oh, David.
No,
bestie.
Bacola.
Bacola and 10 years of Independent Shakespeare Company.
And thank you, audience, for being here tonight. And now let's meet the rest of the cast. Shall we?
Yes.
And here they go. Here it goes.
10 years of Griffith Park.
10 years of Griffith Park, yes.
More like 25 years.
We don't need to think of it. Here we go. Yay! There you are. Yeah.
So exciting.
Yay. So we're really excited to see all of you over the rest of this month and really excited to see you over Labor Day for Romeo and Juliet. We miss you so much. If there's anything we can do, reach out, let us know. And we're here for you. We really miss seeing you in the park. So thank you for joining us tonight. And
cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. See you soon.